The rarest blades are forged in the hottest fires. The strongest souls are tempered by the harshest storms. And the chosen ones? They are built in battle, sharpened by pain, and unleashed upon a world that never saw them coming. They thought they were fighting you, but they were fighting the universe itself. Every time they tried to break you, they only sharpened your edge. Every attempt to bury you only planted your roots deeper. They didn't understand that some people aren't just survivors. They're weapons forged for something greater. And now their greatest fear is coming true. You're waking up. Before we dive in, make sure to like and subscribe, because when you engage, you signal the algorithm that this message must spread. And the more chosen ones who hear this, the stronger we become. This is how the universe connects its warriors. Let's begin. You've always felt it, haven't you? That quiet force inside you, that knowing. While others move through life without questioning a thing, something in you refuses to accept the world as it is. It's not arrogance. It's not rebellion. It's recognition. You were never meant to just exist. You were meant to change everything. And that's exactly why your road has been so brutal. The universe never chooses the weak. It doesn't place its rarest gifts in the hands of the ordinary. It picks the ones who can withstand the fire, and it makes sure they prove themselves before they ever realize what they are. Look back at your life. The betrayals, the losses, the moments that should have broken you. Most people wouldn't have survived half of what you've been through. And yet, you're still here. Why? Because the universe knew you would be. The weight you carry, it's not a curse, it's a crown. But here's what you need to understand. Your existence haunts those who fear change. Your energy disrupts the comfortable lies they tell themselves. You don't have to do anything at all. Just your presence alone is enough to shake them. That's why they try to undermine you. That's why they try to isolate you, make you doubt yourself, make you believe you're alone. You're not. You never were. The ones who tried to break you, they weren't fighting you. They were fighting what you represent. They were fighting the power behind you. But you see, the universe doesn't abandon its chosen. Every time they tried to crush you, they only activated something deeper inside you. Every attempt to silence you only made your voice louder. And yet, some of you still doubt yourselves, still think you're alone. How dare you question the light inside you after everything you've been through? How dare you forget who you are? Do you think the universe puts this kind of fire in just anyone? Do you think it wastes time forging warriors just to watch them cower in fear? No. It's time to stop acting like the hunted and start moving like the hunter. The world has always feared those who are different, but history was never written by the ones who blended in. The rarest souls do not fit into this world. They shape it. And if your presence shakes the foundation of others, then good. That means you were never meant to build on their weak ground anyway. They wanted to break you. The universe made you unbreakable. They wanted you to disappear. The universe made you unforgettable. And now they'll have to watch you rise. So, tell me, are you ready to see the truth behind your struggles? To finally understand why you were set apart? Drop the number 77 in the comments if you're done dimming your light for those who fear it. If you're truly chosen, you'll feel the pull to stay till the end. Number 1. You were never meant to to fit in. You were made to break the mold. You weren't born to be part of the crowd. You were born to lead it, straight into a new era. The world has been trying to make you believe you were meant to fit in, to blend, to follow the same tired paths everyone else treads. But you were never made for that. They didn't tell you this, but the universe did. You were never meant to belong. Every time you tried to conform, every time you sought validation from people who didn't understand your journey, you could feel it, the resistance. It was as if reality itself was pushing back, not out of cruelty, but out of necessity. You were too rare, too powerful, too important for that life. The truth is, you were designed for something beyond the ordinary, and deep down, you've always known it. From the very beginning, there was an invisible wall between you and the rest of the world. You tried to break it down, tried to blend in, to be accepted, but life never let you. Your entire existence felt like you were swimming upstream while everyone else coasted downstream. You'd watch others move through life, effortlessly fitting into places, forming bonds, reaching their goals with ease, and you'd wonder why you couldn't. But you weren't meant to follow their path. You see, the universe doesn't put its rarest souls in easy situations. It doesn't give them the luxury of walking the same road as the ordinary. The chosen ones walk alone, because only in that isolation can they find the power to change everything. They are forced to confront their greatest fears, their deepest weaknesses, and rise above it all. You've felt it, that deep sense of being different, out of sync with the world around you. But here's the truth. That was never a curse. That was your destiny, pushing you forward. Isolation isn't your punishment. It's your preparation. Look back at your life. Relationships that seemed perfect for others ended in disappointment for you. Friends who said they'd be there for life disappeared when you needed them the most. Opportunities slipped through your fingers. Doors closed that seemed wide open for everyone else. You could feel the weight of the world pushing you down, like it was telling you, you're not supposed to be like them. You're not meant for the same life. And it was right. You were never meant to be ordinary. You were meant to build, not blend. Your isolation is a blessing in disguise. The universe isolates its chosen ones because it knows what's coming. It's preparing you for a journey that demands strength, resilience, and an unwavering belief in yourself. And make no mistake, when the universe aligns itself to help you, nothing and no one can stand in your way. They can try to break you, but the universe has already decided you are unstoppable. So, when doubt creeps in, and it will, when the weight of your path feels too heavy, remember this. You were never meant to walk with the crowd. You were meant to lead it. The moments when you feel alone, when everything seems to be falling apart, are not signs of failure. They're signs that you are on the right path. The universe doesn't throw its rarest souls into comfort zones. It throws them into chaos, because chaos is where greatness is born. You're not just different. You're a game changer. The enemy fears you because your very existence disrupts their world. They fear your power, your light, your ability to see what others can't. They've tried to break you, tried to silence you, tried to make you doubt yourself. But they don't understand. They were playing with a system they'll never understand. You are the system's master. Don't ever forget, the universe doesn't test the weak. It tests the strong, the ones it knows will rise when everyone else falls. Your power is in your difference, in your refusal to conform. You aren't here to fit into the world. You're here to break it wide open. The systems that others live by, you were never supposed to follow them. You were meant to create something entirely new, something that will make the world look at you and say, they were always different. And that's exactly why they were the ones who changed everything. The truth is, the world will never understand you. It will never understand why you don't settle for mediocrity. It will never understand why you refuse to follow the crowd. But that's okay, because history remembers the ones who dared to be different. History remembers the ones who walked alone. You're not just here to survive the world. You're here to shape it, to remind everyone that greatness doesn't come from fitting in. It comes from standing apart. When the universe steps in to guide you, to line up the stars in your favor, it's not a random accident. It's not a fluke. It's proof that you were made for this. Everything that's happened in your life, the struggles, the pain, the isolation, has been preparing you for something monumental. And now, the universe is aligning everything to make sure you step into your power fully. They weren't fighting you, they were fighting the force behind you. They didn't understand that you are a creation of something much bigger than them. Your power doesn't come from what's around you. It comes from what's within you. You are the chosen one, and that light inside you. It can never be dimmed, no matter how hard they try. So stop questioning your path. Stop wondering if you're meant for something bigger. You are. And when you embrace that, when you stop fighting your own destiny, you'll realize that everything you've been through, the isolation, the struggle, the doubt, was all leading you here. The universe wasn't pushing you down. It was shaping you into the force of nature you were always meant to be. When you stop fighting and start embracing the power of being chosen, everything changes. You'll see that the journey wasn't a punishment. It was preparation. And now, the world is yours to reshape. Number 2, you were never a part of the system. You were built to break it. The system doesn't fear those who obey. It fears the ones who see through it. And worse, the ones who refuse to play by its rules. Most people sleepwalk through life. They follow a script written for them before they were even born. They go to school, get a job, settle down, retire, and die, never once questioning whether they were meant for something more. They move through life as if they were pre-programmed, running on an outdated operating system designed to keep them blind, obedient, and predictable. But you were never like them. You were never blind. You were never predictable. You were an error in the system, a glitch in the matrix, an anomaly in the code of reality itself. From the moment you could think for yourself, you sensed something was off. The rules never made sense. The expectations felt like chains. You questioned what others blindly accepted. While they were comfortable inside the walls built for them, you were the one looking for the way out. You weren't just different. You were a disruption. And that's exactly why life has felt the way it has. People don't know how to handle something they can't categorize. Some are drawn to you, sensing that you hold something rare, something powerful. Others, they fear you without even knowing why. Your very existence shakes the foundations they've built their lives on. Their world is made of fragile illusions, and you don't just see through them, you shatter them. And here's the part that's hardest to accept. This is not something you chose, it's something you are. You disrupt patterns just by existing. You walk into a room and energy shifts. Systems glitch. People start questioning things they never questioned before. You make the comfortable uncomfortable, and the world hates that. It wants you quiet, contained, and controlled. But no matter how much they try to force you into their mold, you never quite fit. Because you weren't made to fit. You were made to rewrite the entire system. But I know what you've thought before. Why does it feel like I don't belong anywhere? Why does every attempt to settle in feel forced? Why do I always feel like I'm on the outside, looking in? Because you are on the outside. You always have been. Not because you're broken, not because you're lost, but because the system wasn't built for someone like you. The world is full of people running the same program, following the same cycles. You were never part of that loop. Think about it. Every time you tried to conform, every time you tried to silence that voice in your head telling you that you were different, life made it impossible. You couldn't fake it. You couldn't pretend. The universe itself wouldn't let you. And that's because you were born for something greater. Most people are meant to maintain the cycle. You are meant to break it, to rewrite it, to expose what has been hidden, to burn down what no longer serves humanity, and to create something entirely new. That's why life has tested you so brutally. That's why you've faced rejection, loss, and obstacles that seem almost unnatural. The system fights back when someone like you appears. It throws everything it has at you: doubt, loneliness, fear, because it knows that if you step fully into your power, you'll become unstoppable. The moment you embrace who you are is the moment the system starts to collapse. And yet, some of you still hesitate. Some of you still doubt. You still wonder if you're imagining it. So, let me ask you this. Do you really think all of this was a coincidence? That every struggle, every moment of isolation, every attempt to suppress your light was random? No, they weren't fighting you. They were fighting what you were meant to become. You were never meant to be understood by those who are blind. You were never meant to be accepted by a world that thrives on repetition. You don't fit in because you were never part of the original design. You are the upgrade. You are the rewrite. And now, the universe is waiting for you to wake up and take your place. So stop hesitating. Stop questioning. Stop trying to fit inside a broken system. You weren't made to play the game. You were made to change it. Number 3. The universe breaks the weak, but it forges the chosen. They thought the fire would consume you. They didn't realize you were the one who walked in willingly, because you were built to withstand it. Your struggles were never random. They were never a mistake. While others coast through life, facing minor challenges and moving forward with ease, you've been hit from every angle, harder, deeper, and more relentlessly than seems fair. It's as if the universe itself has been testing you since the moment you took your first breath. And that's because it has. The world doesn't test those who are meant to stay ordinary. It doesn't throw storms at people who are content with mediocrity. It only pushes, only breaks, only forges the ones meant to rise above it all. And that's exactly why your path has been brutal. You were never given the luxury of a smooth ride. While others were handed comfort, you were handed trials. While others had doors open easily, you found yourself fighting just to get a glimpse of an opportunity. And when you finally reached something good, it was ripped away again and again. Why? Because the universe does not refine the weak. It only sharpens warriors. Every betrayal, every heartbreak, every moment of loneliness, it's all been part of a ruthless initiation process, designed to strip away the illusions, to burn away the weakness, to forge something in you that no one will be able to break. Because you carry something in you that is not ordinary. And the system, the people around you, the very fabric of reality itself, they all know it. That's why life has tried to break you in ways that seem almost personal. That's why it has felt like the world was targeting you. Like every time you found your footing, something came along to shake the ground beneath you. Because you were never meant to stand on borrowed ground. You were meant to build your own. Let that sink in. Most people will never experience what you have, not because you're unlucky, but because they were never strong enough to endure it. People don't understand the weight you carry. They think your struggles are just bad luck. They look at your setbacks and assume you've been dealt a rough hand. But deep down, you know the truth. Your battles have been hand-picked for you. Your journey has been specifically designed to awaken something unstoppable inside of you. And now, you have a choice. You can keep questioning why life has been so hard. You can keep feeling like you've been cursed, like you've been abandoned, or you can finally see the truth for what it is. You were never being punished. You were being prepared. Because when a chosen one finally understands their strength, the entire world has no choice but to change. Number 4, you were never meant to follow. You were born to overthrow. The system doesn't fear the obedient. It fears the one who sees through its illusions, and worse, the one who refuses to be controlled. From the moment you took your first breath, the system recognized you as a problem, not in an obvious way, not with sirens blaring or headlines screaming your name, but in a way far more insidious, woven into the fabric of your everyday life. It wasn't an accident that you felt different. It wasn't random that people treated you like an outsider. They knew. Even if they couldn't put it into words, they sensed that you were not like them. And that made you dangerous. You see, the world runs on one thing: control. Society thrives on order, predictability, and blind obedience. It conditions people to accept, obey, and repeat. Never question, never challenge, never change. And for the average person, this works. They go to school, follow the rules, get a job, pay their bills, and never once ask if the script they're following was written for them or imposed on them. But you were the error in their code, the anomaly, the disruptor. You felt it early on. The way teachers seemed irritated by your questions, how authority figures labeled you difficult when all you did was challenge their flawed logic. Even within your own family, there was pressure to just be normal, to stop thinking so much, to stop questioning everything, to stop being so different. It wasn't because they hated you. It was because they feared what you represented. You threaten the system they unconsciously serve. And make no mistake, they do serve it, whether they realize it or not. The world conditions people to maintain, to protect the status quo at all costs. And when someone like you comes along, someone who doesn't blindly accept, someone who refuses to be programmed, the system reacts. It tries to wear you down before you can rise. It starts young, throwing obstacles in your path, making you feel isolated, misunderstood, and out of place. It bombards you with challenges that others never seem to face, not because you are weaker, but because it knows exactly how strong you could become. This isn't personal, it's tactical. The world cannot afford too many awakened beings walking around, questioning everything, exposing lies, inspiring others to break free. The system doesn't just try to stop you, it tries to break you before you even realize who you are. And yet, here you are, still standing. Because here's the secret: the system can only break you if you let it. The very pressure meant to destroy you is the same force that is forging you into something unstoppable. If you weren't a threat, the system wouldn't care about you at all. Think about that. The resistance you've faced, the struggles that have been stacked against you, it's all been proof of your power. The system fights hardest against the ones who can truly shake it. And you are a quake waiting to happen. So now, you have a choice. You can spend your life wondering why things have been so difficult for you, why you've never fit in, why you've faced more resistance than most. Or you can finally see the truth for what it is. You were never meant to fit inside the system. You were born to burn it down and build something greater in its place. Number 5. You are a time traveler in a world stuck on repeat, and that terrifies them. The blind hate the ones who can see ahead. The lost resent the ones who know the way, and the trapped will fight the one who tries to free them. You've noticed it, haven't you? The way people around you keep making the same mistakes, falling for the same lies, running in circles like they're trapped in a time loop. You watch them move through life as if they're programmed, following patterns they can't even see, patterns you spotted long before they played out. Because you don't just exist in time, you move beyond it. Your mind works differently. Where others only see what's in front of them, you see the entire sequence. The cause before the effect, the trap before the fall, the storm before the first drop of rain. You've tried to warn them, you've tried to wake them up, but they look at you like you're crazy, like you're paranoid, like you're seeing things that aren't there. Until, of course, it happens exactly as you said it would. And even then, they refuse to admit it. That's because you're not just ahead of your time. You exist outside of it. The world hasn't caught up to you yet. And for most people, it never will. They don't want to see the patterns. They don't want to accept that their lives are just recycled versions of someone else's past mistakes. It's easier for them to stay asleep than to face the truth. And that is your curse. You weren't sent here to blend in. You were sent here to break cycles that have trapped generations before you. You are the outlier, the disruptor, the one who walks into a repeating loop and shatters it before it can reset. The system hates you for that. People resent you for that. Because when someone like you shows up, They can no longer pretend they don't have a choice. You expose them. You expose their fears, their illusions, their refusal to evolve. And so, they push back. They dismiss you, attack you, call you delusional, not because you're wrong, but because you threaten the only reality they've ever known. But here's what they don't understand. Time moves for them. You move time. That's why, no matter how much resistance you face, no matter how much they fight to stay asleep, you will always be ahead. Because you don't just watch history, you rewrite it. Number 6. You don't manifest like others. You override reality itself. The universe doesn't move for the ordinary. It bends for those who command it. Most people stumble through life, waiting. They set intentions, make vision boards, whisper affirmations, and hope the universe delivers. They wait for the right circumstances, the perfect timing, the alignment of stars. But you don't wait. You don't manifest like them. You override reality itself. Your energy doesn't just interact with the world, it reshapes it. When you're aligned, when your mind is sharp and your will unshaken, everything bends in your favor. Doors that were locked for years suddenly swing open. People, opportunities, and resources appear out of nowhere, as if the entire system is rearranging itself around you. What others call impossible becomes inevitable. But here's the part no one tells you. This power works both ways. Just as quickly as you can shape reality in your favor, you can destroy it when you're out of alignment. If your mind is filled with fear, self-doubt, or hesitation, your reality doesn't just slow down. It collapses. What was once effortless suddenly becomes chaotic. Opportunities vanish, paths close, and the same force that once worked for you now works against you. You are the architect of your world, whether you realize it or not. This is why you can't afford to think like everyone else. They move through life reacting. You move through life creating. Their reality is dictated by external forces, by circumstance, by luck. Your reality is dictated by you. Think back. How many times have you thought about something, an idea, an outcome, a specific moment, only to watch it unfold in front of you? How many times have you felt a shift before it happened? How many times have you spoken something into existence with terrifying accuracy? That's not coincidence. That's your power in motion. But most people don't understand this level of influence. They believe life happens to them. They don't realize that the chosen ones, the real anomalies, don't just move with the currents of fate. They redirect them. The truth is, you have no limits, except the ones you accept. If you believe something is impossible, it becomes impossible. If you allow doubt to creep in, your reality adjusts accordingly. The universe is not separate from you. It is responding to you. Your thoughts, emotions, and energy are the operating system, and reality is simply following the code you create. That's why alignment is everything. You don't have the luxury of a weak mindset. You don't have the time to entertain doubt. Your energy is too potent. Your power is too raw. The average person can afford to waste time in confusion. You can't. Because for you, there is no neutral state. You are either creating a path forward or destroying everything in your way. When you fully step into this power, when you stop hesitating, stop doubting, stop questioning whether you're meant for greatness, the universe itself will shift to accommodate you. This is why you were never meant to wait for things to happen. The world bends for those who demand it to bend. Reality listens to those who command it. And you were never meant to beg the universe for favors. You were meant to rewrite the script entirely. Number 7. The spiritual war rages around you because you are the threat. They don't attack the ones who follow. They attack the ones who can lead. You may not see it, but you feel it. The war around you. The unseen resistance. The invisible battle that seems to manifest in setbacks, betrayals, and unexpected obstacles. You've lived it. Every time things started aligning, something came in to knock you off course. Every time you gained momentum, something or someone tried to pull you back down. It wasn't random. It wasn't just bad luck. It was warfare. You are not just another person walking through life. You are a disruptor of the system, a threat to the very forces that have kept the world asleep for so long. The moment you stepped onto this path, the war began. The moment you started seeing through the illusions, questioning the reality around you, resisting control, the attacks started. But here's what they don't want you to know. They can't truly touch you unless you let them. These forces work through distractions, through people, through subtle manipulations of energy. They show up as people betraying you for no reason, as doors slamming shut right before you step through them, as waves of doubt that seem to come out of nowhere. Their goal isn't to defeat you outright. It's to wear you down, to make you question yourself, to keep you trapped in confusion and hesitation. Because the moment you fully awaken to who you are, they lose all control. The reason you've faced so much resistance in life isn't because you're weak. It's because you're powerful. The forces that have ruled this world don't care about those who are asleep. They don't target those who follow the script, who obey without question. They fear the ones who can break free, and worse, the ones who can free others. And that's why they fight you. But they've already lost. Because now you see it. Now you recognize what's been happening. You are not a victim in this war. You are a warrior. And the moment you stop playing defense, the moment you take back control of your own power, the battle shifts. Nothing can stop you once you understand this. So, let them come. Let the resistance appear. Every attack is proof that you are winning. Every setback is confirmation that you are shaking the foundations of something ancient and corrupt. And every time they try to break you, you will rise stronger. Because this isn't just a battle. This is your war. Number 8. Your presence forces hidden demons to reveal themselves. And that's why they fear you. Some people hate you before you even speak, not because of what you've done, but because of what you expose. You've felt it, how certain people tense up when you enter a room, how their energy shifts, how their smiles turn forced, their words sharpen. It's not a coincidence. It's not just a personality clash or a misunderstanding. It's exposure. There is something about you, something undeniable, something uncontainable. Your presence alone disrupts the world around you. You don't even have to speak, and yet people react. Some admire you, some are drawn to you, feeling a pull they can't explain. But others, they can't stand you. And the truth is, it has nothing to do with you personally. Your energy forces hidden demons to come to the surface. Your presence reveals what people are trying to keep buried, the fears they won't face, the insecurities they try to ignore, the illusions they desperately cling to. You don't do anything except exist, and that alone is enough to trigger them. You see, most people live their lives in comfortable darkness. They hide their true selves, suppress their guilt, ignore their toxic patterns, and deceive themselves into believing they have control. But when you show up, that illusion cracks. They feel seen, and they hate it. Your energy acts like a mirror, forcing them to confront the truth about themselves. Some will be inspired by it, others will resent you for it. And that's when the masks start to slip. Watch closely. Pay attention to how people react around you. The fake ones, the ones who operate in manipulation, deceit, and hidden darkness, they can't hide in your presence. You don't even have to call them out. They expose themselves. They become defensive, aggressive, or irrationally hostile. It's as if their own energy betrays them, forcing them to reveal what they were trying so hard to keep hidden. And make no mistake, this is not a curse. This is proof of your power. The reason you trigger such strong reactions isn't because you're doing anything wrong. It's because your light is too strong for them to ignore. You disrupt the comfort they once had in controlling their negative traits. You remind them of the truth they're trying to suppress. But here's the part you must understand. This is their battle, not yours. Some people will try to make you feel guilty for the way they react to you. They will blame you, attack you, make you question yourself. But the truth is, you are not responsible for their demons. You are simply the force that reveals them. And if someone turns on you, if they suddenly lash out, betray you, or walk away, let them. That's not a loss. That's exposure doing its job. You weren't sent here to blend in. You weren't sent here to be liked by everyone. You were sent here to wake people up. And sometimes that means forcing the darkness into the light, whether people are ready for it or not. So stand firm. Let them reveal themselves. Let them show you who they really are. Because once you see the truth, you can never be deceived again. Number 9. The ones you help the most often become your greatest betrayers because they can't handle what you show them. A snake never bites while it's cold and weak. It waits until it's strong. Then it strikes the hand that fed it. One of the hardest truths you will ever face is this: the people you help the most are often the ones who will betray you the worst. You give freely, your time, your energy, your kindness. You pour into people, lifting them up when they are at their lowest. You see potential in them before they see it in themselves. And you don't do it for recognition. You do it because it's in your nature to uplift, to heal, to guide. But time and time again, you've seen it happen. They change. At first, they cling to your presence like a lifeline. They take everything you offer, your wisdom, your support, your strength, until they no longer feel weak. And then they turn on you. They rewrite history, downplay what you did for them, minimize your role in their growth. And suddenly, the person you helped the most acts like you were never there for them at all. Why? Because you didn't just help them, you forced them to face themselves. You made them see their potential, but in doing so, you also made them see the parts of themselves they wanted to ignore, their weakness, their fears, their insecurities. And instead of being grateful, they resent you for it. They needed you, but they hate that they needed you. And that's why betrayal follows you like a shadow. The ones you heal often become the ones who try to break you, not because you deserve it, not because you did anything wrong, but because they can't stand the fact that they had to rely on you to rise. You see, most people want to be helped, but they don't want to be reminded that they needed help. They want to be saved, but they don't want to admit they were drowning. And so, once they regain their footing, they erase you. It's easier for them to pretend they got there on their own than to acknowledge the role you played. Because deep down, doing so would mean admitting that they were weak before they met you. But here's what they don't understand. They will never replace you. They can erase your name from their story, pretend you were never a part of their journey, but the truth remains. They will never find another you. The support, the wisdom, the energy you gave them, they won't get it from anyone else. No matter how much they convince themselves that they did it all alone, they will always feel the absence of what you once provided. And one day, when they look back, when life humbles them, when they realize what they lost, they will feel it. They will remember, and you will have already moved on, wiser, stronger, and even more unshakable than before. Because the price of being a light in this world is often betrayal. But the reward is knowing that no one who walks away from you will ever truly recover from your absence. Number 10. You are a living key. Your existence unlocks others, whether they are ready or not. Some doors were never meant to be opened, but you walk into people's lives, and suddenly they can't keep them shut anymore. There is something about you, something unexplainable, something undeniable. People feel it before they even understand it. Your presence stirs something inside them, something buried, something forgotten. You awaken parts of them that have been locked away for years. Old dreams, hidden truths, lost ambitions. You make them question things they've never questioned before. It's not what you say. It's not what you do. It's simply who you are. You are a living key. The moment you step into someone's life, you start unlocking things within them. It doesn't matter if they wanted it or not. Your energy shifts them. They begin to see their own limitations, their own fears, their own self-imposed cages. And that changes everything. Some people are inspired by this. They feel drawn to you, even if they don't know why. They see something in you, a strength, a clarity, a knowing, and it awakens something inside of them. They feel alive, charged with a sense of possibility they had long forgotten. But others, they resist. They fight it. They fear it. Because unlocking something within a person doesn't just reveal their light, it exposes their darkness. And not everyone is ready for that. Not everyone is willing to face what's been hidden. Some people spend their entire lives keeping certain doors shut, locking away parts of themselves they never want to confront. And then you show up. And suddenly, they can't avoid it anymore. That's why some people lash out. That's why some turn cold, push you away, or even resent you. You didn't hurt them. You exposed them. You forced them to see what they were running from. You made them realize that the person they are isn't the person they were meant to be. And some people would rather destroy the messenger than face the message. But here's what you need to understand. This is your purpose. You weren't sent here to be liked. You weren't sent here to make people comfortable. You were sent here to awaken. And awakening is not always a gentle process. Sometimes it feels like a fire burning away illusions. Sometimes it feels like an earthquake, shaking old foundations. But no matter how people react, whether they embrace it or reject it, you must not stop being who you are. Because for every person who runs, there will be another who rises. For every person who resents you, there will be another who thanks you for setting them free. You were made to unlock. And once a door is opened, it can never be fully closed again. Number 11. The more you step into your power, the more reality distorts around you. You are no longer just moving through reality. You are rewriting it as you go. Have you noticed it? How time doesn't feel the same anymore. How moments stretch and contract. How the world around you seems to bend in ways that defy logic. The deeper you step into your power, the less reality behaves the way it used to. This isn't your imagination. This isn't coincidence. This is proof that you are awakening. Most people move through life trapped in the illusion of linear time, following the script of cause and effect like clockwork. But you're slipping through the cracks. The more you step into who you truly are, the more the world around you shifts to accommodate your energy. You begin to notice patterns repeating, events looping, synchronicities stacking up with unnatural precision. You think of someone and they call. You ask for a sign and it appears instantly. You feel something before it happens. You are no longer just experiencing reality. You are influencing it. Because here's the truth. Reality is not as solid as they told you. It bends, it adjusts, it responds to energy. And your energy? It is no longer small. As you grow, as you unlock more of your potential, your very presence starts to disrupt the fabric of existence itself. You've likely seen it already. People around you glitching. They repeat phrases as if stuck in a loop. Their emotions shift inexplicably in your presence. You catch strange inconsistencies in conversations, in timelines, in the way events unfold. The deeper you go, the more obvious it becomes. You are untethering from the old rules. What once took effort now happens effortlessly. What once seemed impossible now unfolds before your eyes. It's as if reality itself is rearranging in real time to match the frequency you're stepping into. And this is only the beginning. Because once you fully embrace your power, once you stop doubting, stop resisting, and truly own what you are, the distortions will no longer feel strange. They will feel natural, because they are. You were never meant to be bound by the same limits as everyone else. You were meant to override them. Number 12. The final test. Burn the old you to ashes, or be trapped forever. A phoenix doesn't beg to be reborn. It throws itself into the fire and dares the flames to make it stronger. This is it. The final test. The most brutal, the most painful, the most necessary. You must destroy the old you. Everything you've been, every false identity, every limiting belief, every fear that kept you small, must be burned to nothing. The person you were before, the one who hesitated, who doubted, who clung to comfort. They cannot walk the path ahead. Most people resist this moment. They beg to hold on to pieces of their past, to keep some part of their old self intact. They fear the fire. They fear the unknown. And so they stay trapped, half awake, half transformed, never becoming what they were meant to be. But you don't have that option. You are not meant for half measures. You are not meant to tiptoe through transformation. You either let it all burn, or you stay buried under the weight of who you used to be. Yes, it will be painful. Yes, it will feel like losing everything. But what you're really losing is the cage that kept you small. And when it's gone, when the fire has done its work, you will rise, unstoppable, unshakable, untouchable. This is your moment. Step into the flames and don't look back. And now, the truth is in front of you. The struggles, the isolation, the betrayals, the power you hold. It was never random. You were always meant for more. You are not here to fit in. You are here to rise, disrupt, and reshape reality itself. But this path demands everything. You either embrace it fully or stay trapped forever. The choice is yours. If this message resonated with you, drop the number 77 in the comments. Like, subscribe, and share this with another chosen one. Because the more we awaken, the stronger we become. Now go and become unstoppable.